Hello Wolfpack, this is video number 105. In this video I'd like to discuss my recent EDC purchases. I'll be discussing a comparison between the Vanquest EDCM Huge 2.0 and the Maxpedition Beefy Pocket Organizer. I've been doing like the last couple of videos, they've all been compared against the Beefy because it seems and appears to me the best comparison as far as dimensions. Maybe not interior on the inside of the pouch, but definitely size and width. So I'll start off. I'm not going to use this pouch because I've got this pouch full of stuff, carabiners specifically, but this is a empty one. This is the Huge, but it is empty. So we'll start off very similar to every other pouches. You've got your Velcro at the top, or the hook and loop. You've got your slip pocket at the front with the clear through mesh. For the Vanquest, you've got the slip pocket without any see-through. Primarily, they're exactly the same on the front. I have mentioned this a number of times in all my other previous videos. It must be getting boring by now. On the sides, you've got YKK zippers. You've got dual zipper pulls, but also on the Vanquest, which is the one on the top, and the Maxpedition on the bottom, you've got the Vanquest has a lock for your zipper, which I thought was really cool. On the Vanquest, you've got covered zipper tracks. I don't know whether you guys can see that, but compared to the Maxpedition, which is uncovered, no grommet hole on the back, or the side rather, spine. Going into the pouch, so starting on the left, the orange is the Vanquest, and on the right, the Maxpedition with the grey. On the Vanquest, you've got two loops. On the Maxpedition, you've got one loop and a D lanyard. I don't like this D lanyard. I've said that in every other video. I prefer the detachable one, which I'll get to later. You've got slip pocket on both of them. You've got two straps on the Vanquest, which is 1, 2, 3 holes, compared to the Maxpedition, which has 3 holes as well. The difference here is that the Vanquest one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top strap, whereas this one has 6, 2, 4, 6. And on the Vanquest, you've got a bottom row with 1, 2, 3, 4. Important to note about this, you'll see the stitching here, which is in line, which looks really good, but they've staggered the stitching along on the Vanquest, and that's really good because you can, in my opinion, I think you can get more in. I could be wrong about that, but you do have one less item here to hold. So 6 here, 5 here on the top strap, but you make up for it because you get 4 extra slots, which is 3 more on the bottom on the Vanquest, whereas you don't get it down here. For the spine, you've got a center strap on the Maxpedition, whereas, and this is a big difference for the Vanquest, you've got a spine or a strap for the middle, but you've also can hold 2 additional items on top. So very cool about that, like that, although I don't know what you'll store in it, but that's yet to be decided. Right hand side of the pouch, I've swapped this over from left to right. So for the Vanquest, you've got 3 holes, or the bottom strap has the ability to hold 3 items, 1 large, and 2 small to medium, whereas on the Maxpedition you've got 2 large ones. I don't like these large ones, I'll be honest. I don't know what you'd fit in there that would be so large. I really don't. But you may find something. It depends on what you use it for. There's no... On the top of it, you've got a little loop for the Vanquest, as well as a detachable keyring. I love this, I think it's brilliant. You don't have to cut anything off and you can get rid of it if you don't want it. No ring here, no equivalent. I do love this. This is a zipper on the Beefy. Having a zipper on this back pouch is really good. They have that also on the Vanquest, which I think is really, really good. But also, somehow they've managed to fit in 2 extra pockets, which is, I'm not quite sure about. I don't like this crimpling, but with that, I think that would be far more useful. So you can actually, what appears to be, get more into these pouches than the Maxpedition. So the Maxpedition does not have this extra slip pouch. Very interesting. Once again, staggered points. So on the top strap you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Maxpedition, and here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can fit 2 more items on the Vanquest. The depth, I just want to go into the depth of this. I know that I do the measurements earlier on. I will do it later on because I think I've skipped it in this video. So turning it over, you've got the Maxpedition on the right and the Vanquest on the left, and you know that because the handle is stitched, whereas it's not on the Maxpedition. Box stitching, molly webbing, and I have no idea what this is for down the bottom. Really, I don't. It's too thin to fit anything. Maybe it's a zip tie or something. I don't know. I have to figure that one out. Yeah, that's primarily it for the comparison. Now I'll go over the practical differences that I can see. You can fit only 1 item in the Maxpedition, whereas you can fit 3 items. I did mention this earlier, but I wanted to point it out specifically. You can fit more in the Vanquest because 2 slip pockets, none here. Why is that important as far as practicality? I'm not sure, and this is a bit of an observation, I'm not sure that that's a good idea for Vanquest, simply because one, I don't like the look of this, but I don't know whether too much is too much. You know, do you want to have that much stuff crammed in here? You know, it gets to a point where you say to yourself, you know, it's too much. I mean, here's an example of what I'm doing with the Vanquest. I don't have an equivalent of the Maxpedition. Sorry about that, Maxpedition, but at this point, I don't think I'd store anything in these flaps, simply because I always have this impression that when I, you know, open it up, will small things fly out. So I don't know, that's just a personal observation. Just to compare, now that pretty much sums up the comparison of these two. I think they're both great pouches. Don't not buy one or the other. Decide for yourself which one you want, because my needs may be different to yours. But one thing I will compare it to is the Maxpedition Chubby. Now, oh, hang on, before I do, size comparisons. Size comparisons, very important. You know, roughly they're almost exactly the same length and width, and depth they're almost identical as well. So that may help you as far for the Beefy and the Huge. Yep. As mentioned in a previous video, but I will say it again, Vanquest has 2 ranges. One is the EDCM, I don't know whether you can see that, and the other is the PPM. Right, so I'm talking about the EDCM here. Now, can measurements, right? Roughly a 325 gram can of beans. This is how it compares in size. So, hey, this can's made in Italy. Buongiorno. Yeah, and $5 note comparison. If you want the specifics of these pouches, go to their websites and get it off the official website. Don't rely on my review. But I like real world comparisons. $5 note comparison. So 1, 2, 2.5. You know, notes wide. I don't really want to do the comparisons in this video because each video, I've done a set of videos on each pouch specifically and I've done the measurements, so it'd be a waste of time and doubling up of efforts when it's not needed. I will just briefly compare the Vanquest Huge to the biggest of the Maxpedition range, which is the Maxpedition Chubby. Now, it's a little bit of an unfair comparison simply because one, they're completely architectured differently. And the only reason why I want to show you the difference is, as I understand it, the EDCM Huge by Vanquest is the biggest of their range compared to the biggest of their range for Maxpedition. So just briefly, you've got and there is no equivalent for the Chubby in this range. So it's about a whole thumb's width longer on each side for the Maxpedition Chubby on the bottom and the Vanquest on top. Both have the locks on the zippers. Once again, no covered zippers. Internally, they're exactly the same for the front. I don't have to go into too much detail about that. You can see the front of the video. But structurally, they're worlds apart. All right, on the left, you've got two straps with 2 and then 4, and then multiple on the left. You've got one zipper on the left for the Maxpedition, which is in the grey, and a whole lot of hook and loop. Now that's very modular. I don't like hook and loop for holding stuff because I don't think that they've got the staying power. Whereas on the right, you've got all these straps that you can use. Oh, and in the middle, the spine has one strap. The back is exactly the same as any other pouch that I can see. Strap with molly webbing. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. I don't promise to answer them straight away, but when I have time, I will. Respect who you are, respect where you come from, advance Australia fair, respect, honour and pride the Wolfpack, and I'll see you around Wolfpack, okay? Love you, bye.